Hello, welcome to My Life on Paper. I am Brianna, and I am so glad you are here. I am doing a layout for the Crafting Dragon Design team, and I am also participating in September Scraptember with the Scrappy Sisters. Today's prompt is sketch, and this is a sketch by the Scrappy Sisters. And I have these beautiful printables. They are a happy haunting. They are by Crafting Dragon Designs. They are on Etsy. I will have them linked below. I have a 10% off coupon code to use at checkout down below. I just checked the whole collection, which is a lot. I have just a very small part of the collection, is $5. They're printables. That means you print them out at home, and then you get to fussy cut them out, or I suppose you could use them with your Cricut or Silhouette. I did fussy cut these out. These are pictures of my oldest, Jillian, and her husband, Nick, from 2024. There was a get together at Nick's parents' house and for trick or treating, and we got to go around the neighborhood watching the little ones, and we had a blast. So Jillian was dressed as a uh, espresso chocolate martini, and Nick was the bartender. So you see, I have my big flat brushes that I am using to get the ink all over. And I just had fun with this. I am blending the Distress ink, black, I think it's called black ink. So I went to the scrapbook generation we create in Missouri over the weekend, and I have yet to find where I put my inks when I got home. And I only have a couple, but those would be included in there. So I've got the purple, black soot, and then I have dried marigold that I'm going all over the place with. I did try two different purples. You can see that the one is behind the photos, and I did decide to go with the more purple one. And I have a brush for each separate one of those colors. And these big brushes make it so easy to do this background quickly, honestly. You can certainly do it with a smaller brush. It just takes longer. And I'm in love with these brushes. I will have the Amazon link below. I did get the link from Janet at Galaxy Girls Creations, and I might even go back and get some more. There were, and I can't tell you how many, if there might have been like eight. I could be remembering wrong. There's not one for every color. So like I will use the same the purple one for every shade of purple I have. I will use a yellow one for every shade of yellow, and pink for every shade of pink. For instance, it does not have a red one, so I think I use the pink one for a red one, but there's a couple different shades of pink. Anyway, I might need another set. So, and they're inexpensive. I'm going to take the black soot and kind of go over a lot of it because that is the look of the printable paper. And if I haven't showed you that already, I will bring that back in a moment. You can see it in the left lower corner. But I will finish this up. As always, mixed media, inking, etc., will get covered up a lot. At this point, I think I forgot to look at the sketch because now all of a sudden I'm like, oop, look at the sketch. I end up covering up a lot of the purple on the left side. But you see, I'm taking that dried marigold and going back in and putting it in a couple of different places, and then I'll put the black over the top to make it look more like the background paper that I'm using. I certainly could have just used a large sheet of paper. Um, the the collection does come with a printable background. I don't have a 12 by 12 printer, and I just had fun with this. So here I have my embellishments. I've got the three squares, kind of like the three animals in the sketch. I've got my mixed media that is going about the same uh, direction or pattern that the mixed media in this sketch is. So I'm going to move these around a little bit. And the next thing I'm going to do is use some splatters, and I do take a white piece of paper out. It's what you're going to see below the layout. I'm going to test them out and see which one I like first. And I actually used two different shades of purple because one I used first and I don't care for the color as much, then I used the other one. So I have the Distress Spritz in Wilted Violet, as well as Dilutions Ink Spray in Crushed Grape. And I can tell you in a minute which one I try first. Oh, maybe I can't tell you in a minute. Well, this one would be the spritz. And I don't know why I didn't like it, but in person I went back over with the ink spray, which is fine. I mean, I don't know that you can tell much of a difference once they're down. And then I will also go back in with I tried a couple different oranges, and I have spiced marmalade, which I end up going around the page with that too. And that I did it less heavy-handed, I guess. Did it just a little bit the orange, but it does, you can see it on the close-ups. It's a nice finishing touch. So now I know where things are going to go. I'm going to get the adhesive on the back, layer these like they are in the sketch, and put them down. I do believe the next thing I do is get my embellishments down. These aren't exactly where they are in this sketch, but they're close. I was going to use the ghost up on the left-hand side. It didn't have any of the purple. Well, the one on the bottom I don't think has any purple in either. Might have a little bit of purple. I didn't like the way it sat in the left-hand corner. Well, and I ran out of room a little bit. So I am going to use one of these tags, and that comes with the collection as well. And these are all fussy cut out. So this is where I cover up a lot of my purple, but that's okay. You can see I did not overlap the bottom cluster with the photos because I wanted some of that purple showing. And on the top, you can see the purple up on top of the embellishment there. And I certainly could have gone in with more purple and added more purple, but I really like the way this was going. I'll come in next with the silhouettes from the collection, and those are pretty cool. We have a little boy looking one way and a little girl looking the other. Now, I have them both on the bottom of the screen right now, and when I do go to glue them down, I will move that little boy on the right up next to the embellishment up there, and it just kind of balances it out a lot better. The last thing I end up doing is cutting a title out on my Cricut, and I wanted to still stick with the ink. I didn't want any cardstock on here, and I thought about using a stamp. I didn't do that. So I have Trick or Treat, and it's got ghosts on either side. I do cover up the ghosts. I'm going to take this washi tape. It's kind of like a Disney washi tape, but it was something that I know I won't use the whole roll of, and I'm going to put it down. Now I'm going to glue it to my mat, and then I actually will, I was a little bit nervous, but I will put the tape over the bottom of the cardstock there, and it will go over the picture. Now I was a little nervous. This is it's a matte paper, and it's close to being, it's got a different finish than cardstock, but it's a very matte. So I didn't know how that was going to go, but you will see in a moment it peels off okay. And I'm going to cover up those ghosts because I didn't want that to be a part of it. I just wanted the trick or treat. I will go and add the middle of the R, both R's, and the A. I'm going to tell you right now quickly, I think, that check below and you will have the link to Scraptember playlist so you can see all the videos for this month. And then I will also have the link to the Etsy shop for Crafting Dragon Designs. I will have my code below, and I encourage you to check it out. I've had so much fun using these printables. It's just been a blast using them for the Halloween, something I wouldn't have done necessarily before. I love the look of it. I really like how this turns out. So I did put a little, or I'm going to put a little tiny dot in the middle of the the middle of the O. Well, actually, it's not the middle of the O, I don't think. I think it's the swirl on top. It's not going to stick. You're going to see me bring my brush out. It's going to take that little tiny piece of cardstock right off, and I have a way to fix that. If you have any questions at all about printing these printables, please let me know. I'd be happy to share any helpful hints that I can give you. I am using just a plain cardstock to print these off. In the future, I might try more of a photo paper, but I haven't tried that yet. So I will definitely let you know when I switch papers. But you can see the vibrancy of the printables even on the cardstock. So there you can see I'm using the black soot with my little brush to get these in. Now it didn't have to be exactly the same, but I didn't want like light spots and dark spots. I wanted you to definitely be able to read the title. You can see where I took the middle of the R off. I'm just testing that out to see how it looks, and it does work well. So I will go along just up and down. I don't drag it at all, or I don't kind of blend it or anything, because I don't want it to go under the letters. And sometimes those little pieces, on the R on the left hand side, the where the thing comes up in the middle of the two R legs, was wonky. It was not very stable, so I did even glue that to the paper, and that'll come up just fine. But you can catch those little pieces, and you can get ink under them, if if you're not careful. So that's why I pounce up and down. The other thing is, if you're nervous about doing this right to the paper, you certainly could do it on top of even a white paper. You could do, maybe an orange paper, or how about a white paper with the orange pounced all over it, or ink blending the orange on that to back the trick or treat. But I was pretty confident, I guess, and knew I'd like this look. Now, when I pulled the tape up, I did take a little bit of the ink off that tag, so I just went in with a black marker and I just added it on, and you can't tell. Look in the close-ups. You can't tell if it was me or if it was the original. There is my reveal. I grab my white gel pen and add that little piece, and then look at the close-ups, and you won't be able to tell. It looks like just the white paper, and I was pretty tickled about that. So, until next time, may your memories always have a home on paper.